Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Solving Problems in My Farm. My name is Karla Garcia, Hort Americas Technical Service and Consultant, and stay for this video if you want to learn how to start your own vertical farm at home. So today we are inside of a vertical farm that is part of a company called Microgreens FLN. So this is commercial operation, meaning that we have several trays, several lamps, and we produce in order to be able to deliver our product to our customers. However, if you are interested in learning on how to do this at home, I would like to tell you that microgreens, for example, are really simple. So yes, this is commercial operation, but you can do something really similar at home with less trays and less lamps. Today, I will only focus on how to select the materials to start your vertical farm at home. If you would like to learn how to grow microgreens, we have several videos already teaching on how to germinate microgreens, and I totally invite you to check those. But today, we're going to focus on, the specific materials that you need in order to start. So first, you will need to select an area on your home where you would like to start. It could be something like really small, or if you have a space, you can have something like this one. This is a very simple rack that you can find in several stores. So first, you will need to find materials in order to place your trays and your lamps. So something simple and easy to find will be a rack. It could be smaller, it could be bigger. It could be something like also like customized to your kitchen or anything. If you want to look everything pretty, you can also do something different, right? But you will need a structure where you can put your lamps on the top and where you can put your trays. Now, in terms of the selection of the place at home, I think it's important also to mention the temperature, humidity that we want. If you're doing something very small, of course, I won't be like super strict on the temperature and the humidity that you need, because usually at home, if it's very hot outside, we have the AC on or the fan on. If it's very cold, we have also a heating system. So usually our home, it's in good quality in terms of temperature and humidity to grow like and a small area of microgreens. But if you are thinking of doing like, you can select a room, for example, on your place, and if you want to work a little bit harder on how to maintain temperature and humidity, to try to target specific conditions that we know are ideal for this kind of systems, then I will let you know that the temperature that we want to maintain in here is around 22 degrees Celsius. It could be a little bit higher, like 25. We don't want to have temperatures that are less than 18 degrees. Otherwise, microgreens, they tend to slow down a little bit. The metabolism of the plant, it gets lower, so it will take more time for your plants to grow. Then in terms of humidity, we usually want to keep the humidity between 50 and 60%. That's relative humidity. So that's not a lot of humidity. Usually at home, if you have something small, you will be fine. But if you are like inside of a room, for example, this is actually a very small room. This is a small area. This is our showroom for, the customers that are coming in. So we have small volume and we have a lot of trays. So that will increase the humidity inside of the room. So you will notice if you need to do something else. So if you notice that you cannot handle temperature or humidity, even though that you have an AC unit, then you will probably require an exhaust fan. So an exhaust fan will help you to reduce humidity and to be able, if you are working with an AC unit, a cooling system, when you have a lot of humidity on your room, the cooling system capacity gets lower. So for this, you will require to have an exhaust fan in order to replace that humid air and keep your room drier. And that will, very important, that will avoid also fungi or mold on your microgreens. So let me give you a small tour here at the room. So again, you need lamps. We have already a lot of videos tell you how to select lamps. These are lamps from Acuity. This is the section of verdure, which is the section of Acuity that works with horticultural lighting. And these lamps are ideal for these kind of plants. So for microgreens, we have white, we have red, and we have a little bit of blue on the spectrum of these lamps. And as you can see here we have some pea microgreens and they are looking great. So you will require, if you want to place just one tray like this one, you will require only one lamp. That will be enough for your tray. for these specific lamps. If you have lamps with lower intensity, I mean, if the lamps are not lamps that are developed for plants, you will need to check the light intensity. Usually the light intensity in here, we want to keep something around 180 or 200. It could be 250 even. Microgreens, they don't require a lot of light. So with a DLI, which is the amount of light per day, of 8 to 10, you will be fine. So then you will need a place on your home. You will need a structure to keep your trays and your lamps. You will need lamps and you will need trays. I recommend you to have these kind of trays that are hard, like hard plastic. Otherwise, there are other trays that are lower quality. But we don't want those because, with the time you will have to replace them. So it's better if you can select like good quality trays that can support the weight of microgreens and the handle of the trays. So I recommend you to have trays like these ones. I mean, there are different options. We will leave you some links on the comment section, so you can on the description. Sorry, so you can check. But yeah, so you will need trays. You will need substrates. So I will provide also the link for the substrate. There are different kind of substrate that you can use for microgreens. So in Hort Americas, we offer different kind of substrates for microgreens. You can find backlit bamboo. You can find also biostrate. You can also find the crest blade from Grodan. Other options could be also to use coconut coir or peat moss, which work well also for microgreens. Again, if you would like to learn all the steps to grow your microgreens, there are some videos here that can teach you on how to do the germination. But for now, I just wanted to let you know about the characteristics of the room, of the specifications of the environment. It is important if you have, several trays to have also a fan, so you can have ventilation. If you have just a couple trays on your kitchen, it will be fine. I mean, you have ventilation on your house, right? But if you have like a separate room with plants, then you need to put a little more of attention. Pay attention to the humidity, to the temperature, to have enough air velocity inside of the room to avoid fungi. We have also a lot of videos teaching on how to avoid fungi. And if I have mentioned something that you cannot understand, like the DLI, the light intensity, we have several videos also where you can learn on how to do the calculations for the DLI and to understand a little bit more about the light intensity. But here we are trying to do like a basic video for beginners on how to start with your vertical farm. So let's think that you have everything that I already mentioned. So now you're missing your seeds. There are seeds that you can use for microgreens. The most common ones are like broccoli, radish. We have pea here. I will also provide some links below so you can find seeds that are good quality for microgreens. And well, now that you have the seeds, you have the substrate, you have the lamps, you have a good environment. Now you have ventilation. Now you will need to have your nutrients. We need to deliver nutrients to our plants. We need to deliver water to our plants. So how can you irrigate microgreens? So for microgreens, usually we can do like an ebb and flow system in case we have like automation. But if you're doing this at home, you are probably doing hand irrigation, which can be fine for home operations. So let's try to have a hose that can provide not a lot of water. I mean, that you can select, the options like shower, for example, or mist. That will be fine for microgreens. Usually mist irrigation or like shower irrigation technique will be fine. We don't want to keep the plants very wet. Very important. We just want to keep, the moisture on the substrate. Inside of a room, you don't need to do a lot of irrigation. Usually one irrigation event per day will be enough, obviously depending on the environment. But in most plant factories, it will be like this. I mean, for microgreens and the amount of substrate that we usually use. So within the water, you can also mix some fertilizers. There are fertilizers that are available for leafy greens. I will also leave the link below if you are looking for a fertilizer for leafy greens or that work for lettuce if you're growing something else. But those are good for microgreens. You can also test like growing microgreens with less fertilizer than the one that is recommended for lettuce, for example. You can use an electrical conductivity that is lower than that and you will be fine. Because at this step of development, the plant doesn't require a lot of nutrients. So You need lamps, you need your trays, you need substrate, you need seeds, and you need fertilizer and a way to irrigate. And also, don't forget about the environment. Remember, if you're doing this in a very small space at home, you can relax a little bit more about the environmental conditions. Obviously, taking in consideration that your home is in good conditions in terms of the environment, the circulation of the air, the temperature and humidity. I mean, if you are feeling good at home, usually your microbes will be fine. I mean, for a small operation. But if you are in a grow room, I mean, if you already select a specific grow room where you are putting plants, you need to pay more attention because the humidity will start to go up. So those are the main characteristics to pay attention to if you are thinking on starting your vertical farm at home. Let me know if you have any other questions at the comment section, and please subscribe so you can learn a little bit more. Remember, I have mentioned different topics that we have videos on, so please check our YouTube channel and go and keep learning about controlled environment agriculture. My name is Karla Garcia, Hort Americas Technical Service. That's all for today, and see you on the next video.